right. It is 8:13 p.m. on a Thursday night. I am so busy right now with my 9 to 5, which is also ironic because I'm here because I want to kind of document the process of how I created my current single, the one that's probably out right now, called If Walls Could Talk. Talks about the 9 to 5 and also feeling insane, which is how I do feel currently right now. So, If Walls Could Talk. This is a song that has meant so much to me. I grew up listening to music by women who were insane but having fun. Picture the Burn Taylor Swift. Better Than Revenge Taylor Swift. Name a song that isn't a Taylor Swift challenge. And so I was sitting on the couch much like this one, literally wearing this exact same Harley Davidson t-shirt. I was feeling very misplaced in my life. I wrote most of Tidefall after I graduated college. Whoa, sorry. It's just like such a crazy time when you're just kind of like grappling with everything that was your childhood and growing into the person that you know you have to be, but still feeling so stuck in this like sense of fight or flight constantly. And honestly, that feeling is really exacerbated when you're like with someone who's extremely stable and like well adjusted. I was just kind of ruminating on all of the strange things I do to sort of self-sabotage. I kind of started with the pre-chorus. The line that came to me was this. It was like, 'cause when I'm born, I want fun. When I'm fun, I want sad. And I loved that sort of journey it takes you through, never quite feeling comfortable. And then it just kind of evolved into the I don't know, I don't see it when things keep disappearing. You threw the side, 9 to 5, into the wreckage of my mind. I've always kind of struggled in corporate environments as an artist. So I'm like super high achieving and very type A, but like internally there's just like a wasteland in there. So I love that line. It peered through the side of a 9 to 5 into the wreckage of my mind. I guess like the whole thesis of this song is kind of like, man, if these walls, if my history could talk and explain why I am the way I am, then maybe this would all make sense. When you have so much grief and trauma trapped inside of you, you feel like you are on like a crash course towards like bad things. So when a good thing happens, it kind of feels like a detour in a way, and that's kind of how I felt in writing this song. So when it all came together, I was so ecstatic. At the time I wrote this, I think back in 2023, which at this point is like 3 years ago, I felt like people were really gravitating towards my sadder, slower songs. Gilded Age, I think I wrote Siren's Call around then. But I was like, no guys, like pop melodies are so imbued in my veins that I really wanted to bring a whimsical, beachy spin to your girly pop song. And I mean, honestly, what's more girly pop than mental illness right now? I knew that there was no one else I would want to do it with other than Gabby Harwood. She is a brilliant producer and audio engineer, and she was kind enough to really sit down with me and basically talk through the process of producing that.
That's so crazy that the last time we talked there wasn't a war going on, and now it's like
I
another
know, now it's like another
forever
war.
war. I forgot that we went through 2 ideas.
When you first heard the demo, like what immediately grabbed you about this song?
The first thing that I thought of that was different was I instantly started thinking about the vocal production. Talk, talk, if all could talk right now. No, I remember we were talking about it, and I was like, wait, I have an idea, and I sent it to you, and you were like lighting up. One of the things I like about your writing and how you come to me with a song is that you really give me a lot of creative freedom production wise in a way that I get to really shape the sound.
Like at the time too, when
Oh
we were
yeah.
producing this, like I feel like we were both like really sad, and then we like just came out of the sad period, and then we were like ready down to clown. We were ready to party, and then that was this song.
It was at a stage in both of our careers musically where we could just focus on this. Especially Walls was kind of like a place of solace for the both of us. I don't know if you felt like that, but I
Oh
felt like
yeah,
that for sure.
100%. All I remember is you playing that intro sample and just being so in love with it.
we said something about how this sample too sounds like underwater.
Yeah. And
There's
it
something
does.
like
Still does.
bubbles. Something like
Yes.
bubbles.
I mean, to this day, like, gives me chills. Like,
I
I
know.
love that sample so much.
But yeah, I remember I had my nylon guitar and I was like, wait, maybe I want to use this. And it was like the first time I had used it on a track. And it's like I think it's like $100 like children's nylon string. This intro like pluck thing, it's a little bit like messed up and it doesn't sound perfect because we upped the tempo at some point.
I feel like it, like, really works, though. When you were like, we have to get another guitar player, like, my nylon playing is not good. And I was just like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? I felt like the energy was right there. What you saw as imperfection, I saw as personality, and it really felt like the personality of the song. The kind of sudden switch in production from the verse to the pre-chorus is also something I really love.
I remember that I was like, okay, this song is only gonna work if I have like a really, really interesting pattern. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not gonna be anything on the 3.
Wait, I
Look.
love this next part you're about to play at verse 20. This little.
It was so fast, and I remember I was trying so hard to get it right, and you're like, it doesn't have to be like spot on. That's like the
The
charm of it.
point,
And I
yeah.
was like,
Like, that adds to the chaos, but it's like fun, you know? I think that's just what being in your early 20s is.
and so that's kind of where I have like these things going left and right, and the stereo world of this song is very playful. I remember for the vocal production we had like
talk, 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 if walls could talk right now.
yeah, where we had it like so EQ'd and so auto-tuned.
Yeah, like 8 with that. Spiritually, the bridge is similar to the pre-chorus in the way we like kind of just like stripped back.
These nylon guitars were like my favorite that the nylon has ever sounded.
Yeah, the build there.
Clinically insane. We left space for you to have that moment though. And we basically just kind of tied it all back to the beginning by having this harmonics come back. Oh, and then we also just randomly put this electric guitar in.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember the temptation to have this going throughout the whole song?
I know.
So, like,
I know, but it pays off so well here. Loved everything about this time that we spent together working on this, talking through it. This has reminded me how much fun we had, you know?
I know, seriously. And it really wasn't that long ago, but it also feels like
forever ago, truly.
It feels like forever ago.
I'm just so grateful to be collaborating with such incredible people. Philip, Jared, DJ. DJ was the audio engineer. She mixed and mastered this one. She was also kind enough to sit down with me and talk me through her process.
I think the first thing I heard was the production. Off of my first impression, I always like comparing it to Alice in Wonderland and the play on the rabbit hole and really stepping into adulthood from childhood. There's so many new experiences. It kind of feels like a whole new world is opening up. Walls was just taking that feeling, that sort of like experience and embracing it. I really like the pre-choruses. I feel like the pre-choruses was really the portal between adolescence and adulthood. Those sort of transitions, specifically the second pre-chorus, leading into the second chorus, there's a little bit of auto-tune. And it's like, okay, that's the only moment that it happens in the entire track. I like a lot of the experimental playing around with different sounds, with different like effects and things like that. It really like transcended the connection between being a teenager, being a kid. The chorus is more like you're an adult, you're reflecting, but you're acknowledging your previous self at the same time and saying like, hey, we're hand in hand and we're walking through this together.
All of the voices that went into the song. You must have spent so much time on that because there's so many stacks that we had.
Oh my, that's my favorite. As an engineer, the stacks tell a story within themselves. Of course, in the support of the melody, but the stacks themselves, sometimes they kind of take the ear too. That's where I kind of focus in on a lot. In both tracks, like Gilded Age and Walls, but in Walls, I really felt that, and I really felt connected to that. If I had to have a word that described the backgrounds, I feel like it would be peer pressure. You do feel like different voices and things telling you like, you should dress like this, you should be like that. The main vocal is trying to like truck forward inside of the track, and then you have the background vocals that are still there supporting, but it's kind of tugging you into different directions. So it really makes it an interactive experience for your ear. While you listen to Walls, just kind of being open-minded of, as you hear these different sounds going in and out of your ear, representing your, as the artist, dive into the rabbit hole. It allows the listener to think to themselves, how would I navigate a rabbit hole?
Honestly, bars. Crazy.
What was so great about DJ's mix is that she was really able to like elevate that to the next level and showcase all the amazing parts of the song that I could only dream of. I have just been having the most fun creating this album. This song in particular feels a process that was so fun that I just like wanted to share it with the world. Thank you everyone for stepping into my office. Stream If Walls Could Talk on everything. I think it's a really fun song, and I think you will think so too.
At the end of the storm I made about her, you said how much happy